Coming to you from lovely downtown Santa Rosa, it's the Backstage Sonoma radio show. And now, here's your host, Steve Roby.
Colbie Caillat is a two-time Grammy Award-winning artist and a five-time Grammy Award-nominated singer-songwriter whose catalog has amassed over 15 billion global streams. Her debut album, Coco, hit number 5 on the Billboard Top 200's albums charts and is certified 3 times platinum, while her platinum-selling follow-up album, Breakthrough, landed at number 1 on the Billboard album chart. Caillat's debut solo country album, Along the Way, is out now and features the hit single, I'll Be Here, with Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member Sheryl Crow. This critically acclaimed album has already been streamed over 55 million times. She is currently on tour with her own headline dates and co-headlining with Gavin DeGraw. They will appear at the Green Music Center in Rohnert Park on Friday, August 9th. Colbie joins me now to discuss this and much more. Welcome to Backstage Sonoma, Colbie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you could be here. For some of the new listeners out there, could you reflect on your musical journey, how your musical journey began?
I grew up in Southern California, and my parents were in the music industry, so I was around my dad being in the studio all the time. I was growing up listening to classic rock, and my parents had pianos and keyboards and guitars in the house, and so it was something always around me. And I loved singing. It was my favorite thing to do. And because of my parents' tools and just being so embedded in the industry, they helped give me the tools and said I should learn how to play one of those instruments and become a songwriter and be an artist if I really wanted to be a singer. So that's kind of how it was all started, by the foundation and how I grew up.
Nice. Did you have any mentors along the way? Was there a music teacher or somebody else that encouraged you as well?
I had one of my parents' best friends was my vocal coach for the first, my early teenage years. And she was really helpful. I had a good voice when I was younger, but anything, you need training. And so I had vocal lessons, and then I had guitar lessons and some piano lessons. And my dad taught me what song structure was and how important it is to write a song. And it's like therapy. You get to write about what you're going through in life. And so those were my foundational people around me.
Your debut album, Coco, came out in 2007. What changes have you seen in the music industry since then?
It's ever evolving, and my music was found off of MySpace, which was so wild because I didn't even know what social media was at the time. And one of my friends from high school made me a MySpace music page and told me, it's so cool. You can make your own wallpaper, you can upload your songs, and people can hear your music. And for me, that's how people found my songs, and that's why I got a record deal.
Yeah.
And now it's evolved with YouTube and TikTok. And I think in one way, it can create a lot more distraction for people, and there's just a lot more out there for people to get lost in. But at the same time, it's what I loved about being found on MySpace is that fans chose me. It wasn't from a label. It was people heard my music and chose it. And that's what people can do with how music is found nowadays. So I love that aspect, that the fans are in control.
Boy, MySpace really brings up some memories there. I remember you immediately got a friend with, what was his name, Tom?
Yeah.
Some guy sitting in a chair. If he was real or not, I have no idea, but
I know.
It seems like centuries ago. Anyway.
It kind of feels like it for sure.
So you've collaborated and written with some fantastic artists over the years. Could you share your experience working with one or two of those musicians?
Oh my goodness. I'm going on this tour with Gavin DeGraw. He's one of my best friends and one of my favorite male vocalists I've ever heard. And getting to do a song with him and tour with him, getting to work with Mraz and Taylor Swift and Sheryl Crow, all these people are artists that I've truly admired and love their voices and love who they are as artists and the songwriting. And so it's one of the coolest parts to get to write a song with someone that you love and look up to, but also getting to sing them live and have that story together is really special.
I can imagine, yeah. I'm going to play 2 tracks from your new album, Along the Way, And let's start out with Worth It. What can you tell our listeners about this track?
This was the first song I wrote for this album, and I had gone through a lot of changes in life, and endings can be so hard, but they can also be beautiful. And what I wanted with this breakup is that I wanted it to be known that although you're not with someone anymore, you can still love and cherish the time that you spent with them.
That's a good message. Well, let's listen to it now. Here's Colbie Caillat and Worth It on Cows FM.
There were more good days than bad, more smiles than tears. We were more happy than sad. When we were us, we were fierce. Somewhere along the way, lovers drifted apart. And even though I didn't stay, you have a place in my heart. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. There's still sweetness in the memories, even after all the hurting, even after all the long nights, not quite knowing if it felt right. I wouldn't change a thing. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you is worth it. You'll always be someone I miss and never will regret. Every touch and every kiss were the kind you don't forget. I can't put my finger on the reason it didn't work. We didn't do anything wrong. The fire just wouldn't burn. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. There's still sweetness in the memories, even after all the hurting, even after all the long nights, not quite knowing if it felt right. I wouldn't change a thing. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. Loving you was easy, loving you was nice, but loving you was one side of the life. Leaving was a heartbreak, closing of the door. Can't blame us for wanting something more. It wasn't just me I did it for. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. There's still sweetness in the memories, even after all the hurting, even after all the long nights, not quite knowing if it felt right. I wouldn't change a thing. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it. I know it wasn't perfect, I know. I know it wasn't perfect, but loving you was worth it.
If you're just joining us, my guest today is award-winning singer-songwriter Colbie Caillat. If you're just joining us, my guest today is award-winning singer-songwriter Colbie Caillat. Colbie, can you discuss the making of the album along the way? And is there a message you'd like the listener to take away from it?
Yeah, this was my favorite album I've ever written and recorded. And I wrote it and recorded it in over a couple years during the pandemic. And I really took my time with it. And I only wrote a song when I had something to say. When normally you book a bunch of writing sessions and you come in with something prepared or you create something on the spot. But in this time, if I had a thought, an idea, I would call my writers, Liz and AJ, who I wrote most of the record with, and I'd be like, let's write this. And it was the best therapy I could have ever had. And then getting to create it in the studio, sonically, it's my favorite. I feel like I really know who I am as an artist. And I've fallen in love with country music by living in Nashville and listening to the dobro and the steel guitar and adding those, incorporating them into my music. It was just a really special time, like at the age that I'm at, knowing what I wanted to create.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Up next, let's play another track. This one's called I'll Be Here. What's the backstory with this one?
So this song I wrote actually a long time ago with a writer in Nashville, Brett James. We wrote it in California at my house. And I put it on my album Gypsy Heart, and it was called Never Gonna Let You Down, produced by Babyface. But this version I released with Sheryl Crow was the original way I wrote it, like 14 years ago. And so I wanted to bring that original back with the different production and add Sheryl Crow on it. So it has like a long running history, and we just gave it a rebirth.
All right. Well, let's listen to it now. This is Colbie Caillat. The song is called I'll Be Here, and you're listening to it on Cows FM.
Hello, when you're feeling low and you just don't know where to run to. I'm broke. If your heart's been broke and you feel like you're all alone, if you need something to believe in, if you're looking for a light to guide you home, just look inside, your light shining brighter than you know. You should know I'm never gonna let you down, always gonna build you up. When you're feeling lost, I will always find you love. I'm never gonna walk away, always gonna have your back. And if nothing else, you can always count on that. When you need me, I will be here. I'll be here. I'll be here. I'll be here. Ooh, laugh. I will make you laugh if you ever feel like crying. Close, I will hold you close. You won't be alone anymore. If you need someone to believe in, if you're reaching for a hand to guide you home, just take my hand and I won't let you go. 'Cause you should know I'm never gonna let you down, always gonna build you up. When you're feeling lost, I will always find you love. Never gonna walk away, always gonna have your back. And if nothing else, you can always count on that. When you need me, I will be here. I'll 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 be here. If you need something to believe in, if you feel you've reached the end of the road, don't be afraid, I'll always guide you home. You should know I'm never gonna let you down, always gonna build you up. When you're feeling lost, I will always find you love. Never gonna walk away, always gonna have your back. And if nothing else, you can always count on that. When you need me, I will be here. I'll 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 be here.
We're wrapping things up with my guest today, Colbie Caillat. Colbie, do you have time for a few lightning round questions before I let you go?
I do.
Okay, this should be fun. What music are you currently listening to?
Oh my gosh, what am I listening to? I am a huge Post Malone fan, a huge Morgan Wallen fan. I also listen to like Bob Marley and Fleetwood Mac and like Louis Armstrong.
Wow.
So between all of those, that's all on my playlist.
That's a great range, I might add too. Yeah. What is your all-time favorite album?
Oh,
It's a tough one.
it's a tough one. I feel like I would have to go between Fleetwood Mac's Rumors and Bob Marley's Legend. They just have so much nostalgia to them. I feel like you can listen to both of those records from start to finish. I can listen to them when I'm happy. I can listen to them when I'm sad. And either way, I feel like they are just like a happy, loving hug.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. And great choices too.
Thanks.
What was the first record you bought with your own money, and where did you buy it?
Oof. I'm pretty sure it was Lauryn Hill's Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. And I don't know which record store I bought it at that time, but I definitely, we had the CD and it was so exciting and I listened to it on repeat. And I'm sure there was some tracks that skipped because the CD got scratched. But that was, and she was my biggest influence of wanting to be a singer.
All right. This is kind of a personal one. What do you sing in the shower or in your car?
I think it depends what I have just been listening to. So I'm a person that like, I don't get sick of a song. If I love a new song, I will put it on repeat for days and days. So if there's like, the new Shabuzi song, Bar Song, like that's something that I've just been blasting and singing along to because it's so much fun. And then currently I'm in the studio making like re-recording some songs and recording new ones. So those have been on my playlist. And then usually they get stuck in my head and I sing them around my house or in the shower or in the car. Great.
And last question, do you have a favorite Sunday morning record to listen to? Kind of a chill out, say maybe after a concert or something, a Saturday night, just a favorite Sunday morning record?
So, okay, I have multiple answers for that as well. Being in Nashville, we get weather in the summer that's either like tropical rainstorms or it's just blazing hot, sunny. And so depending on what that day is, I'll either, again, put on some kind of Bob Marley or up-tempo fun where I just am enjoying in my house. Or if it's a rainy day, I'll light the fire and I put on like Duke Ellington or Louis Armstrong or Billie Holiday.
Wow. Good choices too, yeah. Well, thanks for playing along with the lightning round questions.
Great questions.
Let me remind our listeners, Colbie Caillat and Gavin DeGraw will perform at the Green Music Center in Rohnert Park on Friday, August 9th. Gates open at 5:30 and showtime is 7:30 p.m. For tickets and more info, go to gmc.sonoma.edu. Colbie, thanks so much for stopping by the show today. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
I really enjoyed talking with you, and I can't wait to see you guys in a few weeks.
Backstage Sonoma will be right back after this quick break.
Would you like to be a guest on Backstage Sonoma? Drop the host an email at backstagesonoma@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening to the Backstage Sonoma radio show on Cows FM. Join us next time for more great interviews and music from local and touring musicians.